Welcome to Dirtbag Baseball Talk, everybody. Great to have you back with us. And as you know, this two-part episodes is going to be with the boys from Truletic Protective Batting Gloves is what they're doing. And I'm happy to have on with us one of the co-founders of Truletic, Derek Hurley, with us today. And he's going to just we're going to talk about, the concept and who was involved originally and stuff like that and still is involved, and how it came to be, and a little bit of, at the end of the day, why we love the product, and why you should be wearing it at the end of the day. And so hopefully by the end of this, you have a better understanding of how this Truletic batting gloves are going to make your game better, safer, healthier, and keep you on the field. So on that, Derek, great to have you with us.
Hey, Kirk, thanks for having me. Really happy to be here. We've been talking here for a few months now and excited to get on the show.
Yeah, great to have you, brother. So just so everybody understands, Derek and the team at Truletic, they're out of the Texas and Fort Worth area. And
Houston, Texas. We're in Houston.
Okay,
yep.
So right in there. Mm-hmm. Perfect. So that's where the headquarters are and stuff like that. But before you got to Houston, kind of share a bit of the journey and the concept behind where this a truly protective batting glove came to be.
Sure. Well, myself, I played in high school. I played in college. I was fortunate enough to get drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Played 4 years of minor league ball. Once I got out of it, I was, heavy in the teaching game. I was a pitching coach for Division I, Long Island University, NEC Conference for a year. Then I made my way down to Texas. While I was in Texas, I started 2 baseball academies. And with that, I bumped into a hand surgeon at a golf outing. One thing led to the next. We started talking. Next thing you know, Dr. Chalia says my neighbor was Carlton Fisk. I grew up a big baseball fan. And then it went to, I'm a hand surgeon, and I see a ton of kids come into my office that are hurt, whether it's the top of their hand, their hamate, fingers, you name it. He said, I'm sick of seeing kids kind of lose, with a broken bone in your hand. That's 6 to 8 weeks, plus get your timing back. We're looking at 3 months before you're kind of back to yourself again. And we sat and we just talked about it and said the batting glove has basically been a golf glove to protect your blisters. I mean, that's really what it's been. There's been a few offshoots in the past that we've seen where they tried to put something in to protect. But the doctor was just kind of like, nothing is here to protect. So what they wound up doing was Dr. Chalia in the Woodlands, and his mentor is Dr. Malone in New York City at Mount Sinai. And Dr. Malone was the head of R&D for Everlast Boxing for years. And he actually designed a protective glove for boxers. So he's been in this field before to help athletes. And Dr. Chalia, then we took that patent from Dr. Malone and crafted it to a baseball player. And what Dr. Chalia and Dr. Malone did is they studied the hand and found out the areas that got hit the most, broke the most, tore the most, you name it, from ligaments and tendons to bones. And then from there, we went out and constructed it. As far as my side of it, I'm the ex-player. So I would go into the field and say, hey, the players like this, they don't like this. For 4 years, a lot of my field work was asking players, tell me what you don't like. How can we make this better? Because again, baseball players, as we know, are habitual. They don't like change. They like, hey, even me, I did it this way. And, looking back from when I played baseball, would I wear a face guard and protectors? And, 80s and 90s was like, no way. And now, the industry, I remember in college pitching and guys are getting up to plate with, these Barry Bonds arm elbow guards. And it's just like, well, if I hit you, nothing's going to happen anyway. So you're not backing off the plate. So I've seen the game evolve, and we've just seen guys in the 2016 season. If you look back, Ian Desmond signed a huge deal. First spring training game, all of a sudden he's hurt. He got hit in the hands. And was done. And so, we looked at that. Trey Turner on the Nationals, same thing. So around that time in 16 that we were kind of coming around with this, we realized 16, 17, there was just a ton of guys that were getting injured. And we figured that this would be a product that could help. And so, it took us a long time, but here we are today. And we think we've got something. We tested it. We've done everything that we think we can in the field to find out different. And here we are.
Yeah, definitely. And part of that evolution was doing data testing at the UCLA labs and stuff like that. And we'll talk about that, I guess, as we get to the protective component of it, the back of the hand plate. But let's go through. Let's go through, and that so the audience kind of understands, why things are the way they are with a Truletic batting glove and stuff. So there it is. You got your standard. Sorry. Strap like you do with most on the batting glove, but then like you said, you've got the overwrap where most people would think that overwrap is just kind of, why is it there? And that's a great question. Why is it there?
All right, well, one of the main reasons is, one, it keeps all the other protection in place. So we have a Kydex plate here on the top, and we have Shock Tech gel from the fingers down through the wrist. So there's protection from the wrist all the way up to the tops of your fingers here. The Shock Tech gel absorbs the impact of the ball and spreads it out. With the Kydex piece on top over here, just gives you another layer. And so between those two spots there, if you get hit, you're going to be all right. Now the strap, what the strap is meant for is, one, is to keep everything in place. Nothing shifts, moves around. If you notice players, you always see them yanking their gloves and their wrists because they want a tight feeling. They want everything conformed and protected. And so that's part of the reason for the strap. And if you looked at Dr. Malone's old boxing documents, it has a strap too. And that's to keep everything in place, keep it protected and secure. So when you get hit, if you break a bone, the bone doesn't start moving around and slicing tendons and then creating more issues inside the glove, inside your hand. So that, the strap is, it's for securing. It's, it does a little bit, looks kind of cool, but more importantly, it keeps the protection in place.
Yeah, that's a great call, because you don't often think about it, right? You don't. It really is a high impact sport. I mean, a little bit different than boxing, and the fact that you're swinging and jabbing straight on a couple of times to the side or whatever, but that was really cool, actually. And that makes sense to me now that you've said that, in the fact of really stabilizing it and allowing your hands to still perform, but yet under, I guess, a more secure situation.
Right. Well, on the other side of it too, I mean, these were designed by hand surgeons who looked over data and said, this is why we have this here. I mean, this wasn't just players saying, oh, we should protect, this would be cool to put something here or there. It's specifically designed for these certain areas where, you look at certain areas, or even like on the thumb, there's a pad right here. Well, that bone that you feel under here, right here on your knuckle there, that's what it's there to protect. And there's two tendons that keep it in place. So that the impact on there, to mitigate the impact there and help those tendons keep that bone in place. So there's just a lot of different things that when this glove was created, it was, specifically for these areas that the doctor said, this is the injuries we see in our offices. This is what, players are coming in with these injuries. So we're going to do something to solve it. And that's kind of where, the two doctors put their heads together. And again, as the ex-player, I went into the field and I would just come back to the designer and the team and say, well, they don't like this, they don't like that. This pulls here, it pulls there. How can we make it so it's more comfortable? And really, again, we talked about baseball players being habitual. The main thing was, hey, it's got to be it's got to protect, it's got to be comfortable, and it's got to look sleek and sexy, so to speak, is what we were gunning for. And when you look at it, it's different, right? But you got to sacrifice some to get the protection, right? And so if you want some protection, it has to maybe seem a little bit bulkier. But with it, when the players put them on, the first reaction is, wow, these are really comfortable. And I like the way this feels. One of the things we've heard a lot of too is we've Handmade padding inserted into it right here. And this is a thing that we've heard more feedback on the Handmade and people saying, no one's ever done that. I don't understand why. And players now are like, oh, I like the way the knob fits in on the Handmade there on that pad. It feels good in that groove. So that was just something, we were doing it to protect, and then hitters were saying, oh no, this actually, I like the way this feels good. So we and we're always trying to get better, right? So I'm constantly always in the field asking people, what can we do better? How can we get better? Just like in baseball, right? Every spring training, you're looking to take your off season to get better, and we're trying to do the same with the glove.
Definitely. And that's what a good company does, right? Is always evolving, and you need to be, or, somebody's going to come along and push you out of the market. It's that simple for sure. So I like what you said there, Derek, and that just so you see, audience, it's a very little thing, but it is. It's say when you turn sideways there, you see that Handmade protection. And you hear of that injury quite often. And I know on the next episode, when we're talking with Dr. Mark, we're going to get in because he's a specialist, so he really knows it. But you're right. You're talking about, 3 months off of the game. If you're an amateur player out there, that's your season almost. Right.
Yep.
And that's the last thing these guys want to do and have you on there. But I can speak firsthand to what Derek was saying, actually, because exactly right. When I first got them, and Nolan and Braden as well, and we were putting them on, we were like, geez, these are kind of like cumbersome, almost bulky, like you said. But I'll tell you what, you put them on and you get strapped in and you got it, man, your mind goes to a great place. It's like, I'm secure. I'm safe.
And that's some of the things we've heard. I mean, I've had players say, I put them on, the bat feels lighter. It's placebo effect, right? You feel good, look good, play good, right? And I've had some especially some of the younger hitters talking to their parents about some feedback, and it's, you know what, he feels a little more comfortable in there because if he gets he's not worried about that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, hitting is hard enough. Hitting a baseball, okay? Like having a ball coming at you, moving, you don't know where it's gonna go. We've already know it's the hardest thing to do in sports, hit a baseball, right? To your mind, like, man, I just had one come high and tight. I don't want to get hit. I mean, it makes it even that much harder. And what we're also hoping is that kid at 12, 13, 14, when guys start throwing hard, they don't get hit and then they don't want to play anymore.
That's right.
That's what happens a lot of times when you start moving up to the bigger field, guys start to throw harder. You know what, man, this stinks. I got hit in the hand. It hurt. It broke. I'm done. We have a feeling, and with this is something that everyone wears batting gloves now. I mean, now if you don't wear a batting glove, you're kind of, you never see that anymore. The days of Keith Hernandez are gone.
Yeah.
So with that, it's kind of like, hey, don't you want some protection in your glove?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know our Nolan, he's still a barehander in that, but big solid guy and stuff like that. And it's just, he's comfortable with it and stuff like that. So he looks at it the other way, but they're very few and far between. They're the old school boys, right?
Yeah,
so
there it is.
One other thing I did want to touch on, because it really is true what you had said, Derek, with that Handmade protection, everybody out there watching, it really does subtly slide the bat up. And you'll see me probably next episode with Dr. Mike. I'll have a bat with me and stuff like that to kind of show you. But it just seamlessly slides that bat up into your fingers where we know we want our kids to be. But for amateur players out there, that's a daunting task. They have trouble with that feel and that understanding. They feel like the bat's going to fly out of their hand. They're going to lose control and they're not going to be as powerful. So they want it in the palm of their hand when we know that's wrong.
Exactly.
In the hand, like they said. So that's another added bonus I found immediately when we put these on and started swinging with them and using them, Derek. So just great stuff put into it, as there should be. I mean, you're talking about a 4-year mission and project that has brought you to market, but has not prevented you from continuing your evolution.
Right. And I mean, I suggest for parents and just people in general, when you're looking at your high school and college hitters, look at their bottom hand and look at their Handmade area. A lot of times you see it's already a black and blue bruise. You already see something here, and that's something for parents and coaches to look at and say, hey, let me just see your Handmade area. And it's like, oh wow, this is already black and blue. It's bruised. You're on your way from that vibration to then all of a sudden that Handmade breaking. And as we know, it's not really that useful or anything, but next thing you know, you're gone six to 8 weeks.
You're right. And so much more than that. That's on the physical recuperation. The mental thing is a whole other story that you have to talk about, right? Getting back in there for sure. Yep. So definitely, Derek. I think that's probably a great place for to start with, and we'll expand on with Dr. Mark on the next one for sure. And obviously, hopefully you're aware now that will really be from the hand specialist mind, and what he brought to the table with Derek, and the combination of Derek being the baseball guy and then Dr. Mark being absolutely the hand specialist, and having his network of hand specialists to also use. And so we're looking forward to that episode. There's no question about it. But definitely, I mean, this is, us, Dirtbags. We don't bring on crap. We don't want to just sell stuff for the sake of selling stuff or promote stuff. We just won't do it. We will not do it. If it doesn't make you a safer, in this case, a safer player, but ultimately a better all around player, we don't want to have any part of it. Not because of this. Just we want to get it moving in the right direction. We also want to be working and networking with people like Truletic and Derek and Dr. Mark and the rest of the team there. And because there's a lot of research that goes into this behind the scenes, as Derek knows now. It's not a short journey to building this, but we're all passionate. We all love this game. We want it to be the best game for your sons or daughters, whether it's baseball or softball out there, to be in a safe and protected environment.
Yeah, like I said, we're really excited. The two doctors putting their heads together. At the end of the day, the goal was to protect kids. And so that's where we're coming from. Obviously, we're a business. We want to make money, but I think overall, we're trying to put out a great product that's going to help people at an affordable price, and keep people on the field, keep guys on the field, and let them chase their dreams, right? Because you can't make the club in the tub, man. So you gotta stay out of the tub.
That's exactly it. That's for sure. So before we wrap it up, where can they find you, Derek?
www.truletic.com. Right there on our website, you can place your orders and get your gloves. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us through our website. If you look on our social media channels, we have some pretty cool videos. We got a legit hammer taken to the hand, man. Like if you're gonna sit there and bang a hammer off your hand, I mean, I think we can take a baseball off a hand.
Yep, there you go. So there you go, Dirtbags. www.truletic.com. Follow them on their social media pages. Same thing at Truletic.
At Truletic.
Yep, and it's pretty simple. So definitely get on it. So I can't thank you enough for coming on with this one. As I let you know, I will be on in the next episode with Dr. Mark, talking about the hand specialist side of things or whatever. And that, I think you'll find that really another just educational video for you to really understand and make it a no-brainer on, let's get my son or daughter, or if you're a player out there, let's get me protected.
Exactly.
These are the guys I want to be with. This is a thing, and promote it for us, please, for sure, because it is a truly vital thing. So, and also if you're out there watching and you do have a product or an invention out there that you think is a game changer, for sure, just like Derek reaching out to us, reach out to us. Let's start that negotiating and understanding what your product is. If it's a game changer, we want to know about it. So you can reach out to me at kirkmcnab29@gmail.com, or just go through our website, www.dirtbagbaseballnation.com, and reach out to us for sure at any point in time, because that's what this is all about. Dirtbag Baseball Talk, we've got players on some side of a young next future, next gen, whatever the buzzwords you want to use, some videos like that we'll be having on. And then the other things are great products, just like we're just starting here with Truletic. And you know what, let's keep this big freight train rolling. There's no question. And so we'll be back with Dr. Mark, sorry. And Derek, I can't thank you enough for coming on with us. And you know what, let's just keep this big freight train moving.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to coming back up and following up in a few months, let you know how we're doing. And then, another cool thing is we just started in November, and then in January of 2021, we won Best in Show at the ABCA Baseball Convention, selected by Collegiate Baseball newspaper. So that was a pretty cool, entering into the world of our gloves. So we're excited about that, and looking forward to following up with you guys soon.
That's a huge one for sure. Hey, congratulations, man. Those are unbelievable accolades right out of the gate. But again, at the end of the day, all joking aside or whatever, and that it's because you have a great product, man. You really
appreciate it, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon.
You got it. So on that note, Dirtbags, you know what time of the week it is. It's time to get up get after it, and get dirty.